Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you so much for tuning in to Let's Talk Woman to Woman on Intellectual Radio. We have two very special guests.
And they really are special.
Hey.
Here we go. We started out already. So
we have Mr. Sam Graham. He is a lifestyle consultant and a fashion designer and stylist. So, you know, ladies, we always talk about fashion. So he is someone that would definitely, I can't wait to talk about. And we have Mr. Marcane Allen.
Yes.
Who is someone I need to talk to, a fitness specialist.
I'm good.
And
so you got yours all together, huh?
And he's also a radio personality as well. So I cannot wait to talk to you guys about what you guys do and just how I can, you know, get some help. Because clearly I can use help from both of you guys, but we will talk about that later.
Yes.
But yeah, so thank you so much. I hope everyone had a wonderful week. How was your week?
Good. Right.
Was it good?
It was.
Was it productive?
Ooh, yes.
Good.
Very. It hadn't stopped.
Ooh, that's what I'm talking about. Being an entrepreneur.
Sam stay moving. We stay moving. Yes, we do.
Being an entrepreneur is 24/7. There's no off day. You can vacation, but even while you're on vacation, you're still working.
Yep. Yes.
That's great.
At the point where my money is making me
love.
Exactly.
That's
exactly.
Exactly.
The passion that drives.
Absolutely. And you know, you got to keep it going. You got to. There's no Monday through Friday. No.
When thoughts working for yourself and thoughts come to you, that's inspiration. You got to stop and at least write it down.
Absolutely.
Record it somewhere. Somehow.
You know what? I'll be in the shower, a thought come to my head, so I gotta hurry up, get out. You know, once I'm done in the shower, then I'll hurry up and write my.
Get you one of those pads. You can reach right out the shower,
and I write my ideas down. So I mean, you're absolutely right. You know, thoughts just come. You could be on the train, riding the bike, whatever.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, we have so much stuff to talk about. So let's get into it. Today, if no one knows. Cares is National Lipstick Day.
Did you see the look on his face?
Well, I was looking at your lipstick, but you know that's good to know because I can go wherever we going. This is MAC.
Yes.
Go get me a supply for my makeup artist.
Yes, absolutely. MAC.
That is an entrepreneur.
Yes. MAC is celebrating National Lipstick Day. They are giving away free lipstick.
Yes.
There is no purchase that is required. Usually there's a catch. You got to spend $50 or $45 or whatever. But no, you can go in. Well, after you stand in line for an hour and 20 minutes.
Because
the line is already forming. People have been posting at Oakbrook that the line is literally wrapped around.
Yep.
And so they're there getting their free lipstick, and you can pick any color that you like. It's not a specific color or type of lipstick.
How big is the tube? Oh, is it?
Yeah,
okay, well,
I thought that was nice.
That's very
I mean, but you know, it's like
cost $100 a tube.
But it's good. It's really good lipstick.
A standard size of just regular lipstick, whether it's matte or cream, is $15. Now, if you get into the other kinds of they come out with, then you know that could be a little more on the higher end.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, it's a little more than Maybelline or whatever. Not let me just make sure I say that. Exactly, just a different product. Just different product. So if you have not heard and if you're interested in standing in line, you don't have much to do today, go ahead and stand in line and get you your free lipstick.
It's a beautiful day here in Chicago, so why not? So tell us what we're doing on Monday.
Oh, Monday, we're going to be at the Dalton Library in Dalton, Illinois. Erica Walton, she has the Evolving Diva Inc.
Yes.
She has a lot of different things. She was one of the speakers at the I Am My Sister's Keeper event that we were on your show talking about a few months ago. But from July 31st through August 4th, she's having a summer camp for young girls. It's called From Tiaras to Crowns. And so we're going to be speaking on Monday at 1 p.m.
Yes.
Discussing, the proper attire to wear, just, image and self-respect.
Wow.
Yeah. So and to young girls. And we did it last year and we had a really good time.
We had a great time.
The girls, they were able to open up. We laughed and joked, but I feel like our message got across. So we're excited to do it again this year, and just to see new girls. You know, I feel like it's our duty as of elegant behavior to get our message across.
Yes,
So.
I agree.
So I'm excited about that, and shout out to Erica for continuing to do the summer camp.
And thank you for inviting us back.
Yes.
We obviously did a good job. She wants us to come back.
I thought it was you all's camp, remember?
Yeah.
We kept thinking like, they're good. They doing it. You know, he's like, no.
Well, you know what?
Right.
We'll speak that into existence.
Exactly.
All right.
It's never enough summer camps.
No, it's not.
And especially talking about class and elegance and the proper things to wear and everything.
Yeah.
So we're really excited about that. So can I jump into this story? Because I am biting at the bit. We have got to talk about
you
this.
Yes, you have been moving around.
I mean, really, I got to put my glasses on for this one so I don't miss anything. So,
this Mark Kane.
Okay. All right. Okay. So, a black man, Mark, the N-word.
Okay. What?
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, Mark.
Okay.
I'm gonna let
Well, let's hear the story first, and then let's share.
All right.
Let's hear the story first, and then let's share our thoughts.
Yes.
Right.
So, a young black businessman, Curtis, and I'm not going to say his last name, he wants to trademark the N-word. And according to the USA Today, he has submitted the application to the USPTO seeking the commercial use of the word. However, submit his application, and he says that he's decided that, the federal government has decided to ban trademarks for degrading words and symbols. And I'm going to talk a little bit about my view on that because I have, intellectual property experience. So he tried to submit a similar trademark back in 2008, but he was denied. Decided that he has a pretty strong game, and he's decided for the commercial use, he wants to use covers a wide range of product possibilities: clothing, games, accessories, fragrances, charitable fundraising, humor, television shows, bumper stickers, campaign, just on and on and on and on and on. However, a patent attorney said that he has very little chance that this will get approved. Definitely trying to do that, and it goes on. But let me just say this, okay? I've worked in intellectual property with probably 30 years now, and the N-word is unfortunately, it is a commonly used word, and so you cannot put a trademark on something and then ban people from using something that is commonly used.
Right.
I don't even understand why he would want to do that.
Well,
it's degrading.
Well, he did offer an explanation. He said that he sees the future of the N-word forming and manifesting into something positive, and where people technically we associate in a positive vein now when we say "what's up, my," type of thing. I'm not saying it's right, but I'm just saying that's what we do in society. So he's saying that in the future he foresees it being, when you say the N-word, that you see a professional, educated black businessman and so on and so forth. And I mean, I just feel like that from what the history and the, how much weight that word holds, how could you see that in the future? I mean, he's very optimistic about it, but I mean, but that's his thought process and his reasoning behind it. And he wants to capitalize on it with perfume, clothing, and
bumper stickers and everything like that.
Well, who's gonna buy this?
Who's gonna buy it?
Exactly.
Right. Why would they do it? Yes, we use it. People use it.
Right.
Exactly.
I have used it before, and I have used it in a positive way.
Right.
I have not used it in a positive way. I try not to use it. Sometimes I do to let you know that. But we all have work.
Right.
So I don't, from my perspective, right? Exactly. And
people gotta get caught.
Right. And it has no color attached to it.
Right.
I done called a whole lot of different people, colored people.
Absolutely.
Sometimes it throw them off. They're like, wait a minute.
Right.
It doesn't have a color.
Right.
Exactly.
No, it does not.
But I'm not understanding who would buy it, because you know what are doing in society today. It wouldn't surprise me if he put a product out there, got that patent, put a product out there, and somebody went and bought it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
And you know what? I always say it takes that one reputable person, that one celebrity, that, A-list person for it to turn into a fad.
Yeah.
I just find it extremely.
And sometimes a trend.
Yeah.
I just find it extremely offensive.
Yeah.
You know, and I just really do not understand. I understand, you know, even perhaps the direction he's trying to go with that, but I don't agree with it.
Yeah.
It's been so many hurtful things that have come out of it.
Yeah.
And I just don't see anything positive coming from it.
I mean, I feel like the word is still hurtful. It's
Yeah,
absolutely.
It is.
And the wrong person saying you're gonna get beat up.
Right.
You know,
it just amazes me that like it's 2017. Kind of came out 1700s.
Yes.
And out of all the things, hold on to that word just.
It won't die. It just won't die. It won't die.
It's that slave
and
mentality.
And then like, I mean, the person that put like a positive spin on it when he made it as he broke it down as never ignorant, getting goals accomplished. And it was like still, it was kind of like, you know, like, it was a different time in music. So it kind of came across respected, where even himself, even though he used it, didn't like using it, didn't want people to use it. And the pain that comes behind it with us, you know, because you know what'll happen. Somebody will put it out, it'll make it out, it'll be on t-shirts, it'll be on bumper sticker, and then somebody on the opposite of us will feel so comfortable because you guys, you know, it's like it's
and that's where, and you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right.
My point was that, well, how are you feeling a certain type of way because they want to prove you? But if you just change the you know, the color of your skin and they were to do it, then of course you would have a problem.
It's gonna be a problem.
You know, so I feel like you can't be two-sided with that. And why would I walk around with a shirt that has that on there? Because, you know, clothes with words, they're labels. And people look at them as labels. So if I have that going across my chest walking around so proudly, people, whether they're our people or people of other cultures, they're going to look at that as that being my label.
It's the confirmation. Oh, I can use this now.
Exactly. And like Brittany said, then you can't get mad when they use it.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, let's make that very clear.
Do not do that.
I don't care who puts a trademark on it.
But unless that person is trying some sick reverse psychology to brand us, so people can say us and see us as that.
Well, but they
you know that happens too, Mark.
You have to look into you have to consider all of that. And I think that, you know, I don't agree with it. I don't think it's okay. I think it's interesting that I think it's interesting how he feels about it in the future, but I just don't think that that name would come.
I that's think a slick hustle though. Every time it come up in a song, you be like, hey, you know, I got let me get my royalties.
And that's all the more reason why he won't be successful in that, because it's such a commonly used word. You cannot ban people from using this.
Right.
So if you were to put a trademark on this and someone says, okay, well, this is you can't come behind them and say, oh, I have a trademark on that. You can't use that. You know, no, it's a commonly used word.
We've been trying to get people to ban it for years, right?
Exactly. Right. So why are
now you want to capitalize?
You know what? I think it may have something to do with his age.
That's kind of like a slap in the face.
It is
a word that was, you know, is to our ancestors, to us, to our culture, you know, then you capitalize on it. I feel like it's kind of like a slap in the face in a sense. In a way.
I think he may be young and trying.
Okay.
Yeah.
Idiotic and Trump. Did you guys see a few days ago how he was at this Boy Scout convention? He was the speaker there. Well, listen. You know, the things that he spoke about, I felt like it was just completely inappropriate. These are young boys who are in Boy Scouts. They want to hear like motivational, you know, things.
How they gonna get to the next stripe?
How they gonna get to the arrow of light? That ultimate goal. I got my arrow of light.
But they didn't want him being there. But then he started talking about healthcare, and then
he's an idiot.
Arnold Schwarzenegger and The Apprentice. Then he started talking about, you know, what I thought was funny is, yes, this man he only donated $7.
To
$7.
To the Boy Scouts?
Yes, his son is in Boy Scouts, and $7 is the same exact money.
How old is that boy? Isn't he kind of old for the Boy Scouts?
No, not the young one.
He's not talking about the older little. son of his.
Right.
He talking about the little one that's with Ivanka.
Yeah.
Or is Ivanka or what's his
Melania.
I get them confused all the time.
I do too.
But so he donated only $7.
$7.
And that's the same amount as, the registration. But that's all you could do.
$7.
Not 100, not 700,
Wow.
not 7,000, 70,000. Still, I mean, that's nothing to you.
Wow.
$7.
Well, way I'm looking at it, he probably you choose my words wisely. To those kids about that probably because they teach their kids early about certain things.
Yes,
and stuff
yes, they do.
And talking to them about that and trying to get the meanfulness and the hatred into their soul towards other people, it's done early. That's the formative years. So it's like, okay, the Boy Scouts are looking, okay, well, Mama and Daddy and the Scoutmaster has allowed this to be here. So maybe what he's talking about, what we should be doing. So, you have to look at it sometimes. It is inappropriate. It probably was inappropriate, but that's that teaching them early to be the way that they want them and molding.
And in a sense, our community needs to do the same thing. It may not have to teach exactly what they're teaching, obviously, but we need to teach early. Start talking about economics and but in a appropriate way. You have to alter your words and alter your content. Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean,
I was in Boy Scouts, Cub Scouts, and all Weeblos, all of that, and my mother ended up being the Scoutmaster for our troop because the guy who was doing it before had become sick. And had she not taken that over, and my father told her, look, we can do this together, I wouldn't have my arrow of light now. But you're right. We have to continue to do what we used to do. Teach, educate, raise a village. Quit getting mad at other people when they're trying to teach your children something.
Exactly.
And Marquette, I think we were talking about this. We talk about this all the time. How quit getting mad when somebody else outside your family is teaching your child or your children the proper way, and then you get mad because it makes you seem like you're a bad parent. You're not a bad parent.
Right.
We just trying to make sure needs and educated because I don't want him bopping me over my head when I get 90 years old.
Exactly.
And trying to get to the store on my own.
Okay.
And I think like to piggyback that is like our culture started letting society give us what goes on in our house too much. And in doing so, a way of passing things down and passing things on. And so we started trusting outside a little too much. And so when you trust outside too much, outside influences the inside of your house.
Absolutely.
So it used to be, where I grew up, everybody, my mom and my uncles and my aunt, they all went to college. But my mom raised me under, it's not always what you know, it's who you know. So growing up, those connections that she had helped me later, no matter what path I went on. I always had somebody I can go get mentoring from, talk to about what I was trying to do. And it kept me thinking outside the box. And, seeing my grandfather be an entrepreneur, landscaping company, and just seeing how he did good business for people and how people would always refer him. It's like, those were things that I saw in the house. And I was told by my grandmother, you can do anything. It wasn't about just getting what society tells you need to make it be bigger than that, be better than that. And I think that's what happened in homes. We started letting society tell us our kids aren't smart. Instead of telling your kids, you can do anything, regardless of what you go to school for, you can do anything. Because look at how society is now. A lot of us have degrees in different things, and we're not using them. We do it in our dreams. We're doing what we want to do, no matter how hard it is. So.
I totally agree with you. It is our responsibility. We cannot depend on someone else to instill in our children. And we talk about this a lot. I'm, really disturbed by the example that these young ladies put in front of their children, or allowed, or young men. As an example, the young lady that was just killed on yesterday in front of her 4-year-old son. Wow. She was shot. She was friend who is a gang member, and apparently someone was coming after him, and so they shot him, but he only got shot in the arm. And the 4-year-old witnessed his mother being
Wow.
shot multiple times. And so you have to take responsibility for what you're responsible for. And you should not, these young ladies need to make better decisions with not only who they hang around with, but who they put in front of their children.
Right.
We talk about that all the time.
Right.
And these parents need to take responsibility too. We were just talking about a couple jumped to their death because they couldn't afford health care.
Wow.
In Manhattan.
Mm-hmm.
Downscaling, maybe moving out of state if you can't afford New York, because I know it's expensive.
Very
There are
expensive.
a lot of people that live there.
Yeah.
So
Right.
I don't want to hear it. And they both were doctors.
Wow.
What?
But left notes stating, I hope our kids will be very careful. It's cowardly.
And they had children?
It is
Yeah.
Coward.
That's
It is
children.
coward.
It goes back
wow.
to taking responsibility for what you're supposed to take responsibility for. Okay, we can't afford health care. Then go to the county.
Exactly.
Right.
There's so
How are you on health care?
Right.
I don't know that. I don't
Well,
understand.
well,
living beyond your means.
I get it.
Yeah, definitely.
I get it in my
Exactly.
lifestyle consultant. It's not usually just about the money. You do not know how to budget. You do not know how to invest. All of that. But that was a cowardly move because you have 2 kids.
Wow.
You have 2 children. That's like Marcaine being like, okay, Sam, I can't get any clients. I'm just gonna run off.
Right.
Exactly.
And left you with
And left
all
left-
the responsibility.
Yeah, left his wife with all the kids and his son in college.
Oh my goodness.
You
wow.
know.
I did
I mean,
not know
those
that.
kids didn't ask to be here.
Right,
So, I
right,
mean, you
right.
you lead them up to this point and just leave them out to dry.
Yeah.
Oh, that is so
Well, when you're
selfish.
trying to live up to what the Joneses are doing, or the Grahams or Roosevelts or whatever, and you can't do that, you need to rescale because you can do it
Right.
Mhm.
in a physical way.
Exactly.
And that's another thing. So that's society, man. And it's like you can't let society
dictate
depict
your life.
your life. And
Right.
it's like I think they've made more important of a value than our eternal value.
Mhm.
And when you do that, it's like you letting too much control the inside of the home. And it's like, we grew up very modest, and middle class. The area we lived in, I grew up in, you had to be middle class. And like my grandfather would make money, and my grandmother would like buy things if the neighbors got one of those black storm doors, she black storm door. My grandfather just wasn't like that. My grandfather was that kind of guy. He dressed plain, but when he go in his pocket, he can take care of you. And it was
That's
just like,
because grandmama was spending all the money. He was like, I must got to.
That's the truth though. But it's like, from them and being older, and he's not with us anymore. My grandmother's still around. It's like I learned, and she would always say, when you make $5, put up 2.
Yeah.
Just things you gotta. It's like the old way hasn't gone anywhere. It's just that we've pushed it away because other cultures of people still hold on to that way, and that's why they're moving further.
And
that's why
sometimes we don't push it away, Marcaine. Sometimes we allow it to be taken away.
Yeah.
That is so
Yeah.
true.
Yeah. You're
Don't
absolutely
hold on
right.
to it.
or sold.
Or sold. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or patent.
Right.
Exactly. Okay. That's just. Well, I don't want us to run out any time, so we had tons of other hot topics that we
Right.
could
We are all
talk
sitting.
about.
I know,
Yeah,
right?
The way
I mean, no, but it's funny how we go from
Or
talking
a radio
to Trump.
host.
Yes. And
Yeah.
you know how it's funny we go talking about Trump and his nonsense is going to something deeper and meaningful.
because it wasn't meaningful.
Yeah,
Exactly.
right.
Not that the topic wasn't. I'm
Oh
glad you brought it
Right.
up. Okay.
no, but he ain't.
It's
He's
not.
not. He's an
not.
idiot.
We're all on the same page.
Right.
He's an idiot.
But I do want to just go ahead and announce our special guest yet again, Mr. Sam Graham.
Yeah.
However you like to go
You call
by.
me Sam. You know you can call me Sam.
Yeah.
But you have to call me Samuel until I give you the okay. No, just kidding. You can call me whichever. Sam Graham. I've been called a lot worse.
We're gonna stick to Sam. We're gonna stick to Sam. But yes, he is a lifestyle consultant. I'm just really curious to see what that all entails. And he's also a fashion designer and stylist.
Yes, he is.
So thank you so much again for coming to our show.
Thank you for
as
having
well as Marcaine Allen,
Yes.
who is a fitness specialist.
Yes.
A great
Yeah.
My stomach is down.
We're gonna have to talk about some things.
I know, I'm telling you.
He's also a radio personality as well. So we are interested to learning how you're able to integrate both of those together and just do what you do and make a difference and help others. So thank you both for being on our show. I guess we could just go back and forth. How did you? Okay, first of all, Mr.
I
Sam.
love it.
Because as a young, I can identify with you when you say you're a fashion designer, because when I was younger, like 8, 7, I wanted to be a fashion designer, be in the fashion industry. I wanted to go to school in New York to be a fashion designer. I said this, I don't know if you remember, I said this back when I was not even in high school yet. I used to take InStyle magazine and Vogue magazine, and I used to copy the different like gowns that they had. But I, you
was knocking off clothing at age of 9. I'm just messing with you.
No, but I mean, it was practice.
No, nothing's new.
Right. And so I was, I ended up swaying away from that because I was convinced, or I was persuaded that you're not going to make money in that field, and you're not going to be profitable, this, that, and the other. You're not going to make it. And they were saying, you need to be a doctor or a nurse, go into the medical field. That's something that you need to do. That's promising, this, that, and the other. And it's like, now that's what I ended up thinking that's what I wanted to do. But now it's like, no, I don't want to do that. How? I'm sure you've kind of ran across some naysayers as well.
Oh, yeah.
How are you able to go into that, achieve it, and just dominate that industry?
Well, thank you for having us on as well, And basically, I've had those similar experiences, but I also had family members who were in the industry.
Okay.
I had a cousin, late Kenneth A. Sparks, who basically took me under his wing. I never to get into the fashion industry, I guess because I was already in it, because my mom, they used to do a lot of shows and put together a lot of events and stuff, not only in the suburbs but in the city. So basically, people would always tell me, oh, I like that style, this, that, and the other. I went to college, scholarship as an accounting.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
As an accounting major. But fashion has always been in our family, because my grandmother made all my mother's and her sister's dresses and that nature. My sister Sheila, I'm not good at it, but I know how to do it.
Okay.
I'm not great at it, so I don't do it. So how I got into the fashion industry was, and he would take me when he'd do shows. I would cut strings and see how the backstages work, and how you work with models and some of the mess that goes on in the back. But he always protected me.
Okay.
So after seeing that, I used to throw events at my parents' house.
Did you really?
Dollar party.
I remember back in the day.
Yeah, and so I went to college and got my communication degree, but I was an accounting major after I figured out I don't need to have all of what's going on. I started figuring out how to make college work for me.
Okay.
Not going to college, get this degree, and then go work for someone, because at an early age, again, my father made my own money, and my mother allowed that.
And that's big.
And it is at 6 years old, and my sisters continue to cultivate it. So after college, communications, I was on my way to law school at Emory. Got to Atlanta 2 weeks before class. I told my mother and father had divorced at this time. I called my mother, I was like, I don't want to do this.
Wow. And I'm sure she wasn't happy to hear
No,
that.
she was my mother and father always told us, you either gonna go to college or you're gonna go get you a job or create something. Right. And they always told me, since I was the last one in the house, grad, no matter how long it take you, because I was on track scholarship, I was promoter, I was doing this. They knew I was into a lot of things. But once you get out of school, whatever you want to do, that's on you. So when I told her, she was like, okay, well, are you coming back home or are you gonna stay out there and work? I said, send me my clothes, my summer clothes.
Wow.
And that's how I did it. So I worked, but I decided I need to rekindle that passion in me, because I was always doing it. I was getting paid to do things like styling, and people would say, well, can you do this or that? And that's how I was like, you know what? I lived in Atlanta for years. I lived in DC for some years.
You've been everywhere.
Came back and forth to Chicago to get rejuvenated. because Chicago is the city to get your energy.
I want you to talk a little bit about your clothing line. You also have a collection. But we're going to go to Marcane. So you tell us, Marcane. Marcane Allen is also one of the hosts on 88.9 FM. So you
Living with Sam.
Living with Sam Graham.
There are a lot of shows on there.
That's right. That's right. Thank you so much. Living with Graham. Okay.
Thank you for clarifying.
Yes, thank you. So, Marcane, you are obviously a fitness expert, and so tell us how you got into that business, as well as you are also into media and films. Now, if you're looking for someone to be a star in any of your productions,
I thought you were gonna say fitness.
I did too. I was like, didn't you just say you were?
No. I'm straight. I'm straight with that. Okay.
You looking for any fitness clients?
Thank you for having me. How I got into fitness. I don't know. At some point in my life, everything just kind of became kind of accidental. So this kind of was an accidental career that I fell into.
Well, no, it was always for a purpose.
Yeah,
you just thought it was accidental.
Yeah, I'm kind of like a Mark Zuckerberg. But so when I was younger, I was always an athlete. I was track, martial arts, basketball, all that. And like Sam, at a young age, I always wanted to be a businessman. I wanted to be a businessman and art. Fashion designer. That's what I used to do. I used to design.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I even went to school, art school for a moment, fashion school. But so throughout my life, times change. I went to school for business, high school. That was my major in high school, and I was working for a law firm at the time, and I was doing community organizing. And like I said, I always stayed in shape and everything like that. And then at a point in time, I started working out at a gym. Someone told me I should be a trainer. And I'm like, what is that? I'm thinking like, that's a gym teacher. I'm like, eh. And all I'm thinking about is the gym teachers that, I grew up seeing.
Yeah.
And then, yeah. And I'm like, nah. I'm like, nah, I don't want to be that.
Dodgeball.
And in my young mind, I thought, all those guys who were like, in good shape or bodybuilders, I just thought they just knew how to do it themselves. I didn't have a clue that trainers were out there, that made money, it was a field and everything like that. And, so I went to school for it, and I fell in love with it. I was still working at a law firm at the time, and it was like, I don't want to go to law school. I was studying like criminal justice and everything. I'm like, I want to keep that up, or do I want to do this? And I want to do this. And it's like jobs in between. And then when I got certified, I just like, well, let me see if I can get a job somewhere doing fitness, And ended up getting a job for a company I don't want to mention.
We all have stuff in stuff.
Yeah, and I ended up becoming a very successful trainer there. Everyone was crazy about me. I had a book schedule that would never get open.
Wow.
And my clients actually pushed me to work for myself. Yeah, and so even then I was like, I don't know what to do, it's like so out of my realm. And I ended up starting a company, pushed it out there, and doing in-home training. And then when that company that I worked for let me go, they were changing the culture of the facility at the time. So they wanted it to be the boys club. So I left there. And then my goal was to see how many people I could help the facility, like go to their homes and see how many people I could help without a facility. Then my goal was, okay, now I need to make the money I was making while I was there, so I can prove that I can survive without that. And then so over time, it just boom, 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 boom. And even though when I first started, I did everything right. I did the website, I did the advertising, I did everything. I didn't get a lot of business. It was like after I really, really started hammering out goals for people and meal planning and everything more thoroughly, that's when like word of mouth. And it's like one person give me 8 people, just jump.
The meal plan is, that was my thing with Marcane.
Yeah, then that's how I ended up getting.
So now in your meal plan, do you cut out like all fried stuff?
Oh yeah.
I mean,
mostly. He does give you a cheat day.
Yeah.
Oh,
day? Can I have macaroni and cheese?
That's on your
cheat
day.
That's on your cheat day. Not every day is a cheat day.
That's my problem.
Right. You cheating all the time.
Exactly.
That's our problem.
Exactly. One thing I want to say that I noticed in both of you is it just proves that it's never too late to follow what's destined for you. And I mean, just because you may not think that this is the path that you're going to go down initially, you know, it's not by accident that you end up going down this other path, you know, where it supports you. You love what you're doing. You're not stressed, or, you know, I mean, being booked, that's a blessing, you know, and and you starting out in accounting, you being into fashion initially, you know, I'm sure you never thought that, you know, that you would be where you are now, at least on the success level.
I thought I'd be wearing suits every day, three-piece, going into a skyscraper. Now I go into skyscrapers, I just wear sweats.
Wow.
Exactly. You know, you're comfortable with what you have.
I'm gonna tell you, one of the reasons I was so excited to have both of you here is because I really see you guys as being such a wonderful example of what a Black man and success looks like. Different industries. I really do mean that. You know, we don't see enough of this. You know, you all are articulate. You're successful, and so I am just. That's one of the main reasons I wanted to have you guys, because I just think look of success, and you're not fake.
Right.
You know.
And you know what? The whole physical fitness thing and your lifestyle and your fashion, it still ties in together, because if they try and do a complete makeover of themselves, you know, they're trying to get their life on track, trying to, you know, upgrade their wardrobe, but then they're trying to get that belly fat down, you know, I mean, that all kind of ties in.
You have plus size people. Not that I was such a deep.
Well, I don't know. The rest of me wasn't.
But no, you know, so I feel like that it all ties in together in a good way. So, I mean, if y'all haven't already, you know, y'all could definitely work.
Oh yeah, we network all the time, and it's like if I know someone that can, you know, benefit from him, and vice versa.
And I love that. You know, but before we go to Sam, let me just ask you, and I don't know if you guys ever told us this, how did you come to collaborate at the radio station together?
He's excited. Right.
So the building he used to live in Hyde Park, I have a relative that's been there and I was waiting for him to come down and work out my cousin. And I was playing some music, and I was like, you know, he was in there, and I was like, oh man, you know, is it too loud? I don't want to be disrespectful. And he said, no, as long as it's not, you know, that new crap, you know, I don't like it. Right. And so then
curse words and no beat.
Yeah, then he asked me, he's like, you know, what do you do? And I said, oh, I'm a personal trainer. A show.
Wait a minute. Before that, I brain in my head, but I was like, I got to keep in touch with him. My other trainer is now going on to his job, and I can't find him. But I asked him about the music.
Okay.
And I was like, no, I like that kind of, you know, that type of rap music. And so we got to talking.
Mm-hmm.
And he told me, I said, what do you do? And he said, I'm a personal trainer. And then he got into the other stuff he did. And he had a radio concept. I mean, he had a television concept. What television?
TV, yeah.
TV concept. And he told me about it. And I was like, well, no, you don't want to take that to television right now. Why don't you bring that on my radio show? I have a radio show. You can, you know, make all the mistakes you want to make and really perfect it and then take it to television. That's how we ended up.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I didn't think he was going to call.
Yeah,
because, you know, I lived in LA for 7 years and people say, oh, I'm going to do that. I'm going to call.
Yeah.
You know, I'm going to do that. We exchanged numbers. And so we got in contact. And
I didn't think he was going to, I didn't think he really had a show because in Chicago, get there. Yeah,
everybody got a show. Everybody's a designer everywhere.
But you know, that is beautiful. Two men, whether you're Black, white, Mexican, whatever, two men coming together and collaborating to making something else, you know, and birthing something else. I think that is awesome. Just being a life consultant, please tell us what that consists of. And just some of the things that you encounter. I'm very interested to know.
Well, a lifestyle consultant, and I describe it to some of my clients as a life coach on steroids. We are a luxury brand. We do all of that. Now, I have a AA in fashion BA in communication, MED in human services and counseling, and just finished my classes for my
You
doctorate.
covered all the alphabets.
Yeah. Okay. So what we do is basically enhance people's lives. Let's say, for instance, like you said, you want to get your health together. Okay.
I like the way he put that.
You know,
right.
and that's what it is. You want to get your health together. So, okay, you'll come to me and I'll say, okay, I have someone to do that, because I don't do everything.
Mm-hmm.
I hire consultants and people in my firm to say, okay, for you, he's not just going to give you what you need to do to work out. He's going to give you the nutritional aspect of it too. And I know it works because I've used it.
Mm-hmm.
And I know how I love pasta and pizza. So then, you know, your health and you eating and you gaining weight ain't just about you eating. Something else going on in your life.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, I use the counseling skills and my.
Like, why do you keep picking up that bag of chips?
Why do you keep picking up a bag of chips? You know, and you know, just changing your whole life, enhancing it, repositioning your life, and doing it with style. You know, in a way to where it's not overbearing. You're not being, you know, deprived of anything. And still understanding, you know, you get that counseling. You need spiritual counseling. I have spiritual consultants that we can do that.
So, okay. So, I get it now.
Yeah.
I get it.
So what made you initially want to go into that? I know that you have an extensive experience with all types of things that do tie into what you're doing. So, but what made you pinpoint and say that you want to help people, you know, improve their life? Because
that's been my purpose. I've always, because people have helped and assisted me in improving my life, and I've learned from that. And what happened over my life is the fact that people would call me and say, well, you know, where's the hottest event? You know, or what should I wear to this? And I'm not talking about just my friends. I'm talking about my parents' friends, my uncles and aunts, or what's the latest dance, or where can I go to get this? Then I started working in higher ed. So I learned the higher ed realm, you know, financial aid, how to get into school, where to find the money. And so I was sitting in my loft in LA after suing.
Did you get that?
During
in LA.
You know, during that time, I was suing a university, a major university, and I sued and successfully won and didn't go to court.
Okay, wow.
So it's those type of life experiences and just professional experiences. And I was sitting there in my loft. I mean, during this lawsuit, my doctors were sending me to acupuncturists, chiropractors, and things of that nature. And I really could not go back to work until this case was over with. And what came to me was my mother said something to me when me and my father was joking around, and she said, I was telling her I want to launch my collection. Do it. Designers in Chicago don't want to work with me, this, that, and the other. My mother told me, party, because you know you draw a crowd no matter where you live and go, and launch the collection.
Wow.
She said, people call you for everything. Go ahead. You need to start charging them for that. Those are services. One of my mentors told me the other day, he said, people are doing what you're doing, they're just not doing it the way you're doing it, and they're calling it something else. So a lifestyle consultant, I consult you with your life, and I help you get to, just like a doctor. Okay, you got this ailment, I'm gonna send you to Dr. Marcaine. Oh, you need this? I'm gonna send you to Dr. Adria, Dr. Brittany. So it's collaborating, and what Marcaine and I do, we seem to do it very well. We collaborate, we network, and we send out.
That's great. That's great. So tell us a little bit about your media aspect of it, Marcaine. And if you're looking for, you know.
Yeah, I got it.
He hasn't picked up on that.
Yeah, trust me, it's like that's something else that has been an accident for me. Years ago, when I worked for that same fitness gym that I don't want to mention, it was a time, and he would always come ask me fitness questions. And I said, man, you know, I've always been interested in acting. You know, I said, I've written a couple plays and, you know, a couple of movie ideas. You know, I've been writing my whole life, poetry and everything like that. So I'm like, I got a couple of things I want to do. So he invited me out to see one of his plays that he produced and everything. Told me a couple of his films to check out. And he never got back with me. You know, it's that, like I said, that Chicago thing.
That's,
you know,
that LA mentality.
And I'm like, you know, and I'm like, okay, you're not there like that.
Right.
So it's like,
okay, so like, hold up.
You know, I'm like, yeah, you know.
I'm trying to throw a Sean.
right. I'm like, you know, because you still come to this gym. So
right.
you're not there yet. You're not at
Let it go. Right.
It's like, so I was like, so I said,
I told y'all Mark Kane could be shady.
Yeah, so I just kind of put the acting thought out of my head. Powerlifting team that I'm the captain of. So one day we were in the gym training. This guy comes up to me. He says, "I want to do a documentary about you guys." So I was like, "Oh, cool," And we were going to I think of state nationals then and the state worlds and everything. And my team, we always, I'm not bragging, but we do always take first. So always win the international titles or something like that.
That's fact.
Yeah. So
that's good.
And so this guy turned out he followed us or whatever, recorded us and everything. Lost touch with him. He did come give us the documentary footage and everything. Lost touch with him. Run into him again. He was like, "Man, film, man." And he was like, "I want you to check out some of my stuff." And he's like, "I want you to do it." So I knew he did film work and he was a known actor as well, but I didn't know the depth of what he did. Ended up having a meeting with him, threw an idea out about a film that I had, and we ended up writing together.
Wow.
We started writing. Been doing it ever since. Film probably set to come out next year. And the media company aspect of it just kind of wrote into what our show is. So every guest that comes on, especially we have a lot of entrepreneurs that come on, young entrepreneurs, seasoned entrepreneurs. So me and Sam kind of see what they don't have. And if I can offer that through my media company service, as far as slideshow promotional commercials or infomercial telling what they do, what they create, what they make, or what they sell, and that's where I kind of help with that. And so I've kind of fallen into actor, media consultant, writer, and producer all at one time.
Wow.
Wow.
One
Now that's amazing.
Yeah, so
that is amazing.
And like Brittany has said, with path going, because these are some of the things that have happened in my life. I'm one of those firm believers that if you write them down, even if you keep them in a notebook, it's like things, acting and things like that, or film writing or something like that, or producing. Even our show, it's something that I wrote down years ago.
Wow.
Years ago. And just cleaning my house this year, finding the notebooks, looking at the date, like, wow, I wrote the session up back then. Wow, well, I wrote that for that back then. And
you spoke it into existence.
Yeah. So, and I mean, like everything. So anything I was chasing before, and it's like I knock on doors, or like the guy I talked to in the gym and they just blew me off. So now it's like fitness kind of pulled me into everything. Because you meet people, you help people, and just knowing that that my purpose on Earth was just to help people.
Wow.
So if you put me on Mars, I'm gonna try to help the people.
There you go. There you go.
You know what? God's going to continue to bless you and make sure He puts you in a position where you can continue to bless, because you have that spirit about you, and that's what both of you guys.
Yes, absolutely.
Mark Kane, my question is, so I know that you said you have a film that's set to come out next year. Is there a particular type of genre that you usually write about, or do you just like a variety of things?
Yeah, well, this first film writing, this be the first thing I've openly like acted in.
Well, we can't wait till you debut. We would like to come to the showing.
Okay, all right, no doubt.
Especially if I'm not gonna star in it, then at least I can do as a kid.
Come and support.
And from this film, we've already started writing a series, so a short series. So I got an idea for you in the series. But
Okay, right.
No, I'm begging. I have no shame. I'm past asking. I'm begging.
I didn't want to be one thing.
So with this piece though, it was like, the thing is, what I love about my business partner in the film writing is that him being an actor and have acted next to really A-list people, it's like we don't want to make that regular black film. We don't want to make that thing that's going to end up in the dollar store. So it's like, right. But we want it to be behind it. You got to make it look the way film looks today. We want it to have a message. So it's definitely and it's going to be about change. It's in Chicago.
Okay.
That's the most I can give out about it.
I'm excited.
Me too.
Yeah, it'll definitely be something that even if it doesn't, it's going to be one of those things that kind of be in the archives of like movies, kind of like War Dog. It's going to be on that like Quentin Tarantino type deal. So it's definitely deep, and we definitely trying to not push it. So I mean, we had it set for this year, but it's like, nah, we got to do it right.
It's all about doing it right. Sometimes it takes time to get things the way you want it, and if it just takes another year or another 6 months or another week, then so be it. So that way it's put out the way you want it.
So tell us about this collection of yours, Mr. Sam Grant.
Well, speaking of timing, I have a men and women's collection.
Okay.
And then I have a collection of jewelry, select pieces. I'm not doing a full line, just select pieces, and I have fedoras. And it's located hangs at 1706 South Halsted in Sultry Shoes.
Okay.
Where Yvette Dudley, another collaborator, Yvette Dudley is the proprietor of that boutique. Okay. But the collection is an avant-garde collection. I do a lot of casual stuff sometimes, but I do a lot more avant-garde, upscale. I'm not a couture designer, but I practiced under a couture designer, Bradley Bayou Couture in Beverly Hills. So it's going to be a great,
Brittany, do you realize who we have sitting here?
Okay.
What?
I mean, no, but he has an extensive career. And,
yes, both of them.
We saw you. I don't even think we've met you yet. But we saw you on Channel 7 News.
Yes,
yes.
No, and the reason I said
you're absolutely right. That was me.
I remember that. And the reason being is because 2 days later, I left for Paris. And that was a great experience. One of the guys on there was my personal trainer at the time.
Wow.
That was years ago. That was like 2003. Yeah. So fun from there. That spun. I don't know if you guys know Philip Block. He's a stylist to some of the celebrities.
No, I have not.
I did a competition at Macy's.
Did you?
Did not win, but he was judging another piece on and got up and walked all the way over to me and asked me, "Can I see your portfolio?" Now, mind you,
that's big. Sometimes you don't have to win.
No,
it's who you meet.
You still won. You still won.
Yeah, and he said, "I love both your collections," because I was presenting a men and women's collection at the time. He said, "But you're gonna leave here and do this. Your men's collection is stronger than your women's. Focus on your men's." And when you leave, because I was telling him I was leaving for LA. But the thing is, the collection is always a custom style collection. It's more on the fact that, if you're going to red carpet events or if you're going to a barbecue and you don't want to wear just the jeans and t-shirt and flip-flops and you want to upscale, because it's all about living that best life.
Yes.
And looking your best and feeling your best.
I agree. Totally.
And showing up the way you want to, not the way society says you should, or okay, everybody else is wearing jeans, I need to wear jeans. No, I've never been that cat. I've never been that. And my family didn't allow us to be that. So the collection is coming out real soon.
Okay.
Right.
I have to finish the women's because the women's have to be, this women's collection has to bang.
Yeah.
Because what I'm noticing is my men's collection is fine. Women want style, they want high fashion, they want grace, because this stuff that they're calling high fashion is nothing but, and I'm not downing a store, but it's nothing but Forever 21 fashion. If that's where you want to go to pick up something for the night.
No, but the latest fashion now, the streetwear, that's really big now. No, you're absolutely right.
It's nothing.
Something you can get from a mall.
And they clothes, we help you to have an experience when you come see us.
An experience. I like that.
I
like that.
Just really quick from both of you, because we're running out of time. Obviously, we got to have y'all back.
Oh, we coming back.
Y'all got
look, y'all gonna be up in here one Saturday. I'm gonna bust in. Y'all need. I'm gonna have Marquain come on. You always got to bring Marquain.
What is something real quick? What is something that you can just what inspiration can you give to a man, to a woman, someone who's just, they don't know what they want to do or they think they know what they want to do? Just what inspiration can you give to someone? Now we're real quick.
All right. I would say listen to your heart. I would say listen to your heart, because that's the closest connection you have to Creator. But that's the closest thing you have. Listen to your heart, and no matter what, get that. Don't forget those things that come to your mind, those inspirations that come to your heart, because when those inspirations come, those are angels whispering things to you that come from the Creator. So you gotta write them down, even if you just scribble it on a napkin.
Yeah,
that is so true.
Just do it. Hold
that.
on to them and don't forget them. And even if it's 5 years, 10 years later, if it comes, And then don't be mad when you push and it fails, because from your failure you learn.
Mm-hmm.
So don't be mad.
Don't we know?
Keep going.
Yeah.
Don't we know?
Okay.
And I piggyback on that and just say, you know what, be intentional about everything you do and be aware of what you are and who you are. Because understanding yourself, what you can do.
Wow. Last thing, please tell us how we can reach you, how if someone wants to get in contact with you, give us your contact information from both of you guys.
Reach me 773-308-5337, or my email is markaneallen, MarkAneAllen @gmail.com.
All right.
And my number is 1-800-363-1489. That's Designer Lifestyles, and that's extension 101. Website is at easytolive.com, and that's easy spelled out EASYTOLIVE.
All right.
Righty.
We have got to have you guys back.
Yes.
Oh, yeah,
part
absolutely.
2.
Yeah,
Part two. For part
Part
two. Thank you so much for coming on our show.
Thank
We've
you
had
for
great
having us.
conversation.
Yes.
We will be posting your information, so if people want to get in contact with you, we absolutely can make that happen. Thank you so much for tuning in this week on Let's
Thank
Talk
you,
Woman to
guys.
Woman on IntellectualRadio.com. Have a wonderful Saturday and be safe, Chicago.
Bye.